Another beautiful night for sleeping. 62 degrees at 7:34. We were woken up an hour ago by a really loud horn. A tanker. I didn't know what was going on. I was in a deep sleep. Grabbed my phone as quick as I could to try and get the audio, but I missed the audio. But it was really pretty watching that tanker go by with the lights reflecting off of it and everything. A calm, glassy morning. It's not really glassy anymore. There's a little willy-wah action on the willy-wah. You like that word, Rex? It's when the air pushes down on the water a little bit. So the boats are clearly pointed toward the southwest. Flag is kind of still. High pressure just crested over us last night. Another nice night for sleeping. There's dew in the grass. It feels really good. Rex has got all those smells from the critters that were in here last night. Come on, Rex. Give us a break. Let us do the weather. It's going in circles. Let's see. That was a cyclonic circle. You know what a cyclone is? That's air swirling into itself. And that was happening in Ohio this morning. Wow. We'll lift this radar from Jackie Lair, our colleague from Boston, now in Washington. Those storms moving across Ohio from north to southwest almost. A backdoor front type thing. And I looked at some of the wind. Sure enough, it was a backdoor front into Ohio, generating 4 inches of rain and flooding last night on the edge of that tremendous heat wave in the middle of the nation. Several record high temperatures yesterday again, especially in the Midwest and down by the Gulf of Mexico. Interesting. And mimicked in Europe too, by the way. In France, it's been the hottest August week on record. Yeah, the hottest weather ever recorded in August in so many stations there in Central Europe. So the heat is definitely a factor. There's plenty of heat around, but also takes cold too, and that cold is right over New England, and it's going to put up a wall of chill here with our 1022 high. Nice dry, cool air, but that hot, humid air trying to come at us, and that's going to create a battle zone. So after a beautiful day today, we said this a lot last year over the winter. If it's Thursday, there must be a warm front. We're still saying that same thing. There's a warm front. It's going to have a tough time getting in here with that strong high offshore. So the less dense, hot, humid air is going to ride into and over the top of the lower level cold air, and we are going to get serious downpours and gully washers coming in here probably after midnight tonight, and then lasting off and on into Saturday and even in Sunday as the colder air comes back in. So here's the sequence of events. I'll show you with the Euro from Pivotal Weather here. Warm front rain comes in tonight with showers and thunderstorms. And then the cold front trying to come at us from the northwest, but there's actually 2 cold fronts, and we are going to see that 1007 millibar low or 2 or 3 waves like that developing on the fronts. And we briefly do get into the warm sector in southeastern New England on Saturday, so it'll be really steamy near 80 in spots. As it's happening, though, the wind from the southeast may be gusting past 20 miles per hour here, 20, 30 miles an hour here on our Friday night. And then Sunday, we do get into the backside of the front, but the upper level trough lingers a bit. So there are scattered showers and instability showers. That's the program for Sunday. A little bit like what happened last weekend. But I think for southern New England, we'll probably end up with a pretty nice Sunday. I know I sped through that. I'm going to show some of the graphics. 3 to 5 day from weather.us for Boston using the Euro model. There it shows a little improved for Sunday compared to where it was. That's also about an inch to an inch and a half of rain. And how about if we show the quantitative precipitation forecast, which once again I forgot to look at. We looked at it 5-6 days ago, and it showed more than a foot of rain near Westfield, Massachusetts. It's since scaled back, but you can see, I'm just assuming, presuming that there are spots there with 4 inches of rain or more when you combine Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that leads us to the tropics. The National Hurricane Center now has identified the little yellow X south of Guatemala on the west side of Central America in the Pacific Ocean. So the Euro from 2 days ago, which had a system coming into the Gulf of Mexico as a hurricane next week, lost it yesterday. It's back now. And now the National Hurricane Center is paying attention, so now we're going to have to watch the Gulf of Mexico next week also. But Not sure what name it's going to get. We'll go to the other side of the Atlantic there, and there's an orange hash and a red hash. So it looks like we're going to get 3 more named storms after Franklin. I storm is called Idalia. J storm is Jose. K storm is Katia. So we're going to get Idalia, Jose, and Katia all on the map, I think, over the next 5 days. So Franklin is the threat for New England. It's not really a threat, actually. It's over the open ocean, and it may become a major hurricane 500 miles east of North Carolina, and slow-moving major hurricanes 500 miles east of North Carolina do not hit New England. Of course, there's a first time for everything. Why don't we go to the 500 millibar flow, that ridge, all that hot air in the middle of the nation, steering around it as all the energy. Yes, remnant from Hillary coming down and joining up with our front here this weekend. That trough kind of lingers here Sunday afternoon with the instability showers. Then a new surge comes out of Canada Monday into Tuesday, and that's going to be another warm front, cold front, and steer Franklin way out to sea and into Newfoundland. So Newfoundland may get a hurricane next week. We may get a swell. It goes by here Wednesday night. The hurricane goes by here Wednesday night. Now you look at the Wednesday. I want to just give you a still shot of Wednesday's forecast from the Euro. There goes Franklin upper right into southeastern Canada. And then lower left, that would be one of the other storms. Probably is going to end up being Katia, I would guess, off of Georgia. And a lot of isobars here. That's a strong wind from the northwest in New England. And cool, dry air coming in for the middle of next week. And then on the backside of that cool, dry high, middle of next week, hopefully, potential Katia stays way out, brings us some surf. So it looks like we're going to have some pretty good surf around the East Coast next week. And a nice Labor Day weekend. As a matter of fact, you show the weather.us 14-day, the greatest red shade warmth after tomorrow, or Saturday, is out over Labor Day weekend. So the very early call on Labor Day weekend. Surf and sunshine in an ideal world. Usually when a weatherman has a party, that's what happens. Gets what kind of weather he wants. Yesterday, kind of fiddling around, sunset. Leave you with some scenes from yesterday. A lot of work in the garden. I was going to show you all the work I did in the garden. Maybe I'll give you a tour. I filled a whole 50-gallon barrel with weeds last evening. And I want to talk more about my pumpkins. I've never really gotten excited about my pumpkins before, but these ones are starting to excite me. And I think it's really fascinating how the pumpkin makes its own like tent to protect the pumpkins from the hot sun. It's really neat. Oh yeah, and I put in some more stakes. It's really hard to put an 8-foot stake in when you're 6 foot tall. But we had to do it because these tomatoes, and there's more like that, I really cleaned them out. They want to go to the sky, and those ones are going to the sky. All right, keep your eye on the sky. It's going to be very interesting. Not the best Friday, Saturday. I'm going to try and get to the Marshfield Fair later today. All right, is that enough yet, Tim? Yeah, T-Rex, simmer down. We're going back inside. I was about to say, what do you see besides blue sky and green trees? Red-tailed hawk. Too slow. Gorgeous 5:45 summer night in August. Birds at the feeder, cat below the feeder. Boats going out for the Twilight Series sailboat race. Hey, Kevin. Sure enough, wind is from the east-southeast. About 5 miles per hour. Beautiful night. Huge cruise ship coming in. I can't really tell. Looks like it's coming in. Go fast boat. Just like gave Kevin and crew a tempo. Little wake. They toying with you or what, Kevin? I would hope he's your friend, actually. Kind of rude. Guess that cruise ship is going out. Next stop, Bermuda? Who knows? Another boring sunset, Steve? I know. Gets old, doesn't it? You know what surprises me the most about this one, though, is that boundary between the incredible heat from Iowa to Wisconsin and very expansive. That boundary with the cirrus clouds and the warm front actually settled off to the south and west today. So this is a really nice high pressure system from Canada. Anomalous cool at many levels of the atmosphere, eastern Canada, New England, and just off the charts anomalous heat in the middle of the nation. But this cold front actually penetrated all the way down the east coast and to the west of the Appalachians. And that heat wants to come at us over the next few days. Thank goodness all the tropical systems are pretty far south, otherwise we'd be really in for it. Instead, we're just in for it. Think that's enough for today? Steve? Where you going? All right, that's enough for today. He's not gonna catch a bird. You're gonna catch a sunset. I'll leave you with the time lapse. Why not leave you with another sunset time lapse just because I can? Even if it's cloudy or clear, I think every sunset is enjoyable. Kenny Young just said summer's winding down, but there are plenty more concerts. Very subtle, but anti-crepuscular rays. As opposed to crepuscular rays that come down, anti-crepuscular rays go up. Sunlight on the dust particles and smoke at the top of the atmosphere. And the moon's gone already behind that tree.